Hi YouTube family, Lisa A. Romano here, the life coach, and today I want to talk to ACOAs out there, adult children of alcoholics who came from alcoholic homes, as well as those of us who came from dry homes. And what I mean about dry homes is that those of us who came from dysfunctional homes where we had no alcohol to point at, we had no crack cocaine to point at, we had no gambling to point at, but we grew up in a dysfunctional home. It doesn't matter if there was alcohol present or not. If you grew up in a dysfunctional home, then you were seen and not heard. You were taught that your feelings don't matter. You were minimized. You were ignored. You were treated with indifference. You were treated as if what you had to say was irrelevant, unimportant. You were humiliated in front of family and friends. You were discarded. Your spirit was not fed. It was like the spirit being that you were was just like insignificant. And so if you grew up in that type of a home and there was no alcohol present, then you are a member of our family of ACOAs. It's just that you grew up in a dry home. That's what that's considered. What is very common for those of us who grew up in dysfunctional homes is that we tend to fantasize a lot. When I mean fantasize, I mean that we have these ideas about love that are very whimsical, that are very Cinderella and Snow White-ish, and it gets us into a lot of trouble. So I know when I was little, I felt so alone that I would literally fantasize for hours in my room about one day finding that one friend that would understand me. As I got a little bit older, I started fantasizing about that one boy who would want to know who I was on the inside and who really, really cared about my feelings. And I would just spend hours thinking about having that type of a boyfriend, someone that would really, really listen to me and wanted to know who I was on the inside and was so compassionate and empathetic, and, someone that I could just, reveal myself to and I could feel heard. And so I really yearned my whole life for that experience. Now, the problem is that when we are thinking that way and we're young, we're little girls, from ACOA homes, whether there's active alcoholism or not, we really do attract boys way too early. So we get a little boy crazy. But what boys do is they attract girls, but they're looking, some of my clients, when they were very young, like 11 and 12, they were already having sex. And male clients were already having sex at 11 and 12, and they were looking for girls that they could, some of them wanted to dominate, and then others really they were seeking to be seen just like the little girls were, who were boy crazy and were looking for boyfriends to like see them and take care of them and, rescue them just like Snow White and Cinderella, Now, when we're younger, that sets us up for a lot of drama because the relationships are very chaotic. So 12-year-old girls, for instance, I'm speaking to the women out there, 12-year-old girls, what we do generally is we seek young boys and we put everything into these relationships. So oftentimes we have sex way earlier than we should have. We're looking for love in all the wrong places. We make whatever boy shows up, whatever boy says hello to us, like, we want to please him, Why? Because we're seeking his validation, because we have this fantasy going on the back of our head that that's what love is, because that's what's being represented on television, that's what's being represented in the movies, that love is this like codependent, love addicted, neurotic, obsessive, I can't sleep, I can't eat type love. And that is not the truth, dear ones. That's not love. That's craziness. That's codependency. But, listen to country western songs. I mean, I have to turn the radio off because they're preaching, they're singing about codependency. It's awful. Like, love is not crazy. Like, real love is not crazy. And so I wanted to do this video to address the whimsical and phantasmical type thinking that so many of us carry with us into our adulthoods. That's why so many of us get married and get divorced, and then get married and get divorced, and then get married and get divorced. And here we are in our 40s and our 50s and our 60s, and we're on a third and fourth marriage. And we think like, why can't I find that person? Why can't anyone satisfy me? And lots of times in my one-on-one coaching classes and teleclasses, it'll get revealed that, a woman, an ACOA woman, for instance, will marry a man and attract a man into her experience, and she really thinks that this man is supposed to fulfill every single need that she has. And nobody can ever fulfill someone else's needs 100%. We're all flawed. FLAWED. We will disappoint people from time to time. And if someone puts all their faith in us and makes us supremely responsible for their happiness, we're done. We're like a fish on a hook. Like, we are responsible for this person. So for those of us out here who are still struggling with codependency, it really does benefit us to look at whether or not our expectations of our spouses and our friends are realistic. Do we tend to make other people responsible for how we feel? Do we take care of other people because we expect them to validate us? Are we being a little too unrealistic when it comes to expecting other people to make us feel as happy or as whole as we need to be? Now, if you have these ideas that love is Cinderella-like and love is Snow White-like you meet someone for the first time that's like, that's it, like you're moving in with each other in 6 weeks, and in 9 months, you're married, and in a year and a half or whatever, 18 more months, you have a kid, and like, what happens? By 24 months, you're divorced or you're separated because you didn't take time to really, really know one another. You didn't take time to figure out if you could trust this person. It was very addictive. It was very whimsical. It was all or nothing. And so for those of us out there who are struggling with fairy tale type ideas of love, I say, wake up. Like, wake up. I'm going to give you a hint as to what real love feels like, because I've experienced both. My whole life, up until I was probably in my 30s, I thought love was sort of like Snow White and Prince Charming. That, that my love was going to show up on a white horse, and he was going to understand me and carry me away and be my protector and never disappoint me, and that's the way love was supposed to be. And so every man that I met was going to fall short of Prince Charming. And then I began to study codependency and enmeshment, and I did a lot of reading and a lot of researching, took a lot of classes, and I began to realize, I studied the psychology of love, and then I began to realize that, as cliche as it sounds, until you love, honor, and respect yourself, you cannot attract that into your life. So when I began to understand that I had low self-esteem and I was expecting a man to satisfy all the needs and all the desires that I had, that I was not willing to fulfill myself. I also realized at that point that I was setting myself up for failure. I also realized, and it pissed me off, quite frankly, that I was putting my happiness into the hands of other people. So once I realized that that's what I was doing, I got really pissed off at myself, like, Lisa, come on, you can't keep giving your happiness over to other people. You can't keep saying, here, take care of me. And I began to pull back, and I began to interview men. So when I was single, as a single mom, I began to get it. Like, I'm supposed to be interviewing men. I'm supposed to be seeing if they're right for me, not if I'm right for them. I know all of you out there can relate to this idea, especially women, and I guess men too, codependent men. Like, when we go out on dates, we hope that the other person likes us. Like, we're putting our makeup on, we're like, I hope he likes me, I hope he likes me, I hope I don't say anything stupid. It never even dawns on us that we should be interviewing them, and we should be worried about whether or not we like them. See, when you are dating and that's your intent, that's your position, you're in a much healthier place. So I'm going to tell you what real love feels like. So I don't know, I'm sure lots of you out there have pets or have had pets in your lifetime. I love animals. I have 2 dogs, and I have about 24 birds in an aviary, and I also have this huge 180-gallon fish tank, which, and believe it or not, fish have personalities, which is really cool. So do birds. Most people know that dogs do. But anyway, I digress. When you love your animal, there's no question that this dog loves you. No question. There's no question that you love this dog. No question. You look forward to, coming home after a long day of work, and you know that this animal is going to be really, really excited to see you. These dogs love me whether my makeup's on, whether my makeup's off. They love me 5 pounds up, 10 pounds up. They love me 20 pounds down. They love me if I'm sad. They love me if I'm happy. They love me if I'm in a bad mood. They love me if I'm in a good mood. They just love me. It's something that's consistent, and it's something that I feel, and it's so authentic. And then when I look into the eyes of my animals, I know that they see me. I know that they love me. From time to time, they're going to dump in the house and I have to clean it up and I get frustrated, but I love them anyway. From time to time, especially my puppy, she's going to rip up a rug. I love her anyway. I get angry in the moment, and then I huff and I puff and I curse a little bit, and then it's over. I don't kick her, I don't beat her, I don't throw her out, out in the backyard in the cold. I love her anyway. That's what love feels like. That's what true, mature love feels like. So if you are one of those people that are out there thinking that a man or a woman is supposed to sweep you off your feet and make all your problems go away, I am here to tell you that you're barking up the wrong tree. That's why so many codependents attract narcissists, because narcissists they sense that neediness like a blood smells water. It smells like a shark smells blood and water. They smell it. You're giving off this aura, please need me, please need me, need me, need me. And a narcissist is going to suck that in and make you worry about what he thinks about you, or make you worry about what she thinks about you. And now they have you. And what we've done is we've said, here's my happiness. I want you to be responsible for it. And the wrong person takes complete advantage of that. And so this video has been created to help you understand that love is not what you hear in country western songs. I love country western music, but sometimes when I really listen to the words, I want to gag. Sorry, all you country western fans out there. But love is not crazy. Love is not alcohol induced, and love is not, let me go get some whiskey and blow some headlights out of a car and let's get drunk and have sex. And crazy love is not love. Crazy love is just crazy. So I hope this video has helped shed some light on the differences between healthy love and codependent love, and also helped you shed the idea, or at least look at the idea of, ask yourself, what does love look like to you? What does romance look like to you? I mean, my husband's really, really romantic, but that doesn't mean from time to time I don't get ticked off that he leaves a towel on the bathroom floor. Or, sometimes he teases me just a little bit too much about something, and, I have my boundaries, Hey, I'm sensitive. I'm a Pisces, and I'm an ACOA. Hello, and I'm a female. In menopause, so watch out. But anyway, the reality is that people will disappoint us from now and then, and the goal is to get so secure with self that you can take it. That obviously, if you're with someone who is trying to tick you off, like someone who is really narcissistic and their agenda is to upset you, you don't want to be in a relationship with that person. If you're in a relationship with someone that you cannot trust, you can't be in a relationship with someone you can't trust. You can't grow. If you can't grow in your relationship, then the relationship has to end. And that's really tough to hear. But if you're not growing, then, things that aren't growing are dead. So you have some thinking to do. And I'm here for you. Please consider joining my Google Plus community. Adult children of alcoholics, moving on, stuck in the past no more. We'd love to take you in as a brother and a sister of our community. Also, my books are available at audible.com. My websites are www.healingselfesteem.com and www.adultchildofalcoholiclifecoach.com. There you can get a free download of my the introduction to my book, and I will be uploading some free MP3s soon. So look forward to that. Also, my teleclass starts March 7th. I think I have 2 seats left if any of you are interested in being coached with me one-on-one. If you are interested in being coached by me one-on-one, all you have to do is reach out at lisaromano@gmail.com. I look forward to your comments. Bye, everybody. Namaste.